Man, what's going on? You're at the studio, Black Blood now, down the road.
Yep. Yeah. It's great. I love it here. Everyone's awesome. Like all my friends jam right underneath me. Like my favorite Gold Coast band is Cold Blood, and I get to see and hear them like every week. It's fantastic.
How's it go when you're trying to mix it? Do you ever get into like is it soundproof pretty well?
Yeah,
There?
it's pretty good. Like mixing for me is kind of like I got to get in the zone. I got to be
Yeah.
fully focused, and like even if one band's jamming, it's like you can edit and do a little bit, but if you like proper mixing, I feel like I got to be here in total solitude almost.
So do you have a broom that you're like, shut up?
No, not quite, but like I know when I've got the place to myself, it's good. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, you'd know the schedule. You'd know the schedule.
Definitely.
But man, of course, cold day in Brisbane. That's coming up real quick, man. This is what, a third year in a row, right?
Yeah. Yeah. This is the third one.
Wow, man. It's like everyone loves this festival. And
Yeah.
even though, yeah, man, like people, man, every time that you have one, someone says that how much of a good time they had, and the lineups are really well picked. What obviously ingested, sadly have had to pull out, but you've got Disentomb, Extortion as
Yes.
well. Like
Yes.
killer lineup, man. Like, so what are you looking forward to about this year's?
I'm glad you said that stuff because it's very stressful sometimes and you're not sure if it does get noticed or not. But yeah, so thank you for that. Super Devo about Ingested. Obviously, it would have been sick to see them. Um, yeah, don't know what else to say. It was like just out of our control. Couldn't do anything about it. I think I'd been like digging holes all day or jackhammering or something all day. And so when I got the news, it was kind of like, I'm too tired to even like be frustrated. And then Adam basically came to me. He's like, I think we could do, and I think Extortion would work. And I was like, man, people are going to be spewing. They
Man,
wanted to see Jested. Like, we've got to give him something in that realm as well. So, Disentomb, thankfully, we're in town, didn't have any other shows scheduled, and it just worked out that they were available. Super appreciated both those bands. They saved our ass, but we were able to fix it.
they did the first one. They headlined the first one, right?
Yeah, both those bands played the first year, so we had such a good time, and like they are such sick bands that Adam and I just sort of went like, if they're available, that's like the best solution to us. They were the ones that kind of like went, this is how we started out, right? Adam and I both love Extortion. That's kind of like our crossover in tastes. That's how we teamed up. And Disentomb's just like they're the best band in Australia to me. So I'm biased in that way, but yeah.
That's kind of cool how it goes full circle and brings it
Yeah.
back to that, That's a
Yeah.
solid.
I mean, we had
solid.
like 5 days to put something together, and like, yeah, I don't know what other international band would have been able to pull it together in the 5 weeks leading up to it. That's not enough time. And Australia has so many things on the go already. Like it's a lot of traffic, and even just July, there's a lot of tours going on. So it sort of had to be bands that weren't already booked to be doing something, but also big enough that they could do it, and we knew that they could do it because they did it the first year. So
What do you
yeah.
sort of look for in your lineups? Or, what's the criteria of bands that because you mix it out with the death, the hardcore, and you sort of branch it out a little bit. But what's the criteria that a band's got to have to play a cold day? That it's even
For me
viable.
anyway, it's just they got to be a kick-ass live band. Like being sick on a record's one thing, but so typically it'll be a band that Adam or I have seen or know have the gusto to give it to them live on a big stage. So there's that, but then we try to have maybe a representative from each state, and then obviously got to have like local Brisbane bands, got to have a Gold Coast band. There's certain little things we tick off along the way, but yeah, it's typically, I mean, it sounds naughty to say, but it's really just like bands that Adam and I both agree that are really sick. And so if I bring something to him and say, hey man, this is the reason why I think this band should play, it's kind of like he's got to okay that. Neither of us get like, you know, it's not like I just build the whole thing myself and I go, here we go, this is what we're doing. It's a collaborative decision. So I think that keeps it honest, maybe, is that like, yeah, because he's not a death metal head. No shade whatsoever. Love him to bits. But I'm not super knowledgeable when it comes to punk. And so we kind of fill in the blanks for each other there.
That's why I think it works.
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh, no, but you are, because you're both bringing your own worlds to it in a lot of ways. Obviously there's
Yeah, like
crossover. That's what makes it so cool.
it would make sense that diehard metal fans are like, just give me metal. Like that's the fest I really want. And it makes sense that the hardcore kids and the punk scene would want their own individual festivals, but I think personally that the reality is that none of those subgenres in Brisbane are quite big enough to have their own devoted festival and fill out a venue like the TRIFFID.
Yes.
Prove me wrong. Anyone out there wants to go have a crack at that, but I think if you did just a one of these beautiful subgenres only specific in the same thing, it wouldn't fill the room and it wouldn't be possible. So this is a way that kind of everyone wins
I agree.
our philosophy. Yeah.
Hey man, hey, that it works, man. It's work. And in regards to the lineup, I'm going to bring it up here because I've got to.
Please.
All right. So of course, Extortion. We've got Disentomb, SHACKLΣS, GUTLESS, ALGOR MORTIS as well.
Mm-hmm.
If I've said their name right, because I don't know if I always mess up some band name along the way. I Exist, Potion, Jalang. I haven't heard.
Yep. They're a D beat, more sort of on the crusty side of things.
Okay.
Punk band from Melbourne. Yeah, I think they're a 4-piece, and it's just like if you imagine Discharge with like super politically fueled, I think female vocalist, and it's just like quite specific to the local sort of stuff that the members went through in their upbringing and stuff, like the subject matter of the song. So yeah, they're a super interesting one. I everyone give them a couple songs at least. Don't just be like, nah. Go check them out if you're there. That'll be a good one.
And there's Histamine,
Yep.
Splinter. I can't even say putrescent seepage.
Yeah.
Brutal,
Yeah.
brutal.
Yeah,
I hear
that's
it.
kind of my pick for the day. That was like, Adam, you might not understand this one, but we got to have this. Like, yeah, I feel like they'll blow everyone away and it'll be super sick. But again, I'm biased in the death metal sort of subgenre. Yeah.
Bloodmouth, Homesick,
Yeah.
Crossface, and oh no, go. Um, Glitter Strip, Tumor, Drudge, and No Harm. That's
It's
it.
a lot of bands.
That's a lot of cram in one
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. I still haven't actually rejigged the schedule to make the set times last. So it's you want to squeeze everyone together, but you don't want to have it run so late that it's like people are standing around like this before the headliner plays. It should just like eventually get there.
Yeah.
So I got to work on that. That's what I'll do after this, I think.
It never ends, does it, when you're putting on these shows? It's everyone just thinks that you just go and it just appears. No,
Yeah.
No, kids. It doesn't work that
As
way.
I'm getting older though, I realize that it's not ideal if the headliner plays at midnight. It's just people don't want that. I don't really want that.
No,
So even if you get them on by 10:30, 11, that's better. Yeah.
it's true. It's true. Like I recently saw a band and they were going on a bit later, and I was like, oh man, it was a struggle because I'm old. I don't know about you, but I'm old, and it's like even for me, and I love going and seeing stuff. Like if I go and see a band in Brisbane and they're not wrapped up until like 11:30, that means I don't get home till like 1 o'clock in the morning by the time you get out of the fucking car park, and you're like, and then you get up at work at like if you got to work the next day, it's brutal. So yeah, I think you got to have that headline just in that sweet spot a little earlier.
Yeah. No, I sometimes it's unavoidable. Like for this one, it's going to be tight because there are so many bands, but we got one stage to work with, so it kind of has to.
But they're a good crew there as well that I've noticed. Like I've played there a couple of times over the years, and I
Oh,
find that
they're the best.
they just come out of the walls. Hey, it's like someone will just come on, would you need a hand with that? And you go, oh man, and
Oh, right. That's awesome.
it's been a
That's
while. It's been a while since I played there, but I found that when I did, they were very helpful, and the on stage sound was fucking incredible too.
yeah. It's super clear. The first time we played there, I was almost a little taken back by how clear it was. It's like the first time you play with in ears, like a DI jam or something, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I can hear everything. There's no hiding behind the bass or anything like that. It's quite daunting, but no, great crew there, great stage, and we'll have our resident sound engineer Mark Perry there manning most of the day, keeping everything sounding punchy the whole time.
And what about a dream band? Say for next year, if you could pick any band, who would that be? Any band in the world.
See, we tried to do this last year, and I was trying to manifest the Red Shore, but it didn't happen. Now, if we were to take, I think I'd really love to have Nails.
Ooh,
For me, they're like they're a perfect crossing point where
yeah.
there's some death metal in there, there's hardcore, and they have like punk beats and stuff. You know, I think they would be the perfect
What? Yeah. Why?
nails or nails or converge. Yeah, for me, that's what I'm into.
Why don't you just go get them?
I mean, hopefully we get a big enough reputation that we could ask bands like that to do it, but I don't think they'd even reply to our email at this point.
Or you just physically go to their house and like kidnap them, and then
Yeah,
you go, oh, well, there you go. Once you finish playing this, don't do that, kids. But
no, no,
it'd be good content, you know. When they're like, you got to play now. Look, we've took you all the way from what is it like over in the States to here somehow.
yeah, yeah. We've done Cold Day. Now we're doing Kidnap Day. That's just
Hey,
you wake up and you play a set. You don't get to find out anything. No,
doors are
um,
no,
it
don't
is
do
hard doing it when we do it. We like it's always in July, and there's heaps of other festivals that always happen in Europe. There's heaps of like LA's always got Sound and Fury happening. That's half of the hardcore bands ever every year. So we'd probably have to tee something up well in advance to get a band like that. But yeah, the goal is to expand and hopefully be able to have international acts like we tried this year. So I'm not going to say it's a dream or anything like that. I reckon it's we could get a nails one day hopefully.
Yeah,
A dream band like with no limits, is that kind of what you were asking
no
there?
limits, dude. Because I believe you can fucking do it. That's why I'm saying it. Because I believe that you guys can do it.
Yeah, is this where we like make the third Necrophagist album appear and they somehow will come and play it? I've
Hey,
seen the
man.
meme.
Hey, wouldn't it be funny if that actually? Hey, you never know, man. Weird shit happens all the time, so you never know, man. I've seen weird shit happen over the last year alone, so
I
you
don't
never
know.
know, man.
Yeah. No, I'm into heaps of weird stuff. So like if Gorguts could come and play, that would be like a bucket list type of thing. It'd be I'm a big Kurt Ballou fan, so like Converge, that would be massive. Um, yeah. Any international bands watching, just come play.
Yeah, that'd be sick. That'd be sick. Talking about Gut Slit, you're doing a show with those dudes. Have you heard?
Yeah. Primitive Fest in August.
Yeah, I did see that. Man, we're playing with them up here, and I fucking can't wait to see those guys.
Yeah.
Like
That's
that,
gonna be sorry.
I said that just popped in my head. Sorry, I'm talking. I think we've got a bit of delay here going on through, and you're just down the fucking road, so it's literally I don't know why it's doing it. But yeah, I was just I'm excited because I thought some of those bands might have fitted in with that. But anyway, I'm
No,
excited to see them too. So
yeah, that fest is gonna be great. I didn't realize when I was booking it, but it's actually the same day as Necrosonic. So there's I'm gonna miss some stuff in Brisbane, but it's worthwhile going to play that one.
yeah, yeah, that'll be a fun time. Yeah, and Necro as well. Man, there is a lot going on, but I feel like each one has got its own thing to offer, and I think that's where a cold day is different from the rest of them. You know, as you said, like there's not a festival that really spreads itself like that, and it has the punk and the hardcore and the metal and brings that side of things together. You know what I mean? I think last time we spoke about how you seem to be at the center of this little scene that's it's happening that's sort of sprung out from maybe the studio and the hardcore and stuff like that. You know, I think you've brought those worlds together through that. I mean, do you feel that that's, I mean, obviously there's a big financial responsibility with the festival and a lot of work and stress, but do you feel that, you know, there's a lot of pride in that as well?
Yeah, it's pretty ambitious. And it's something that I know isn't going to work immediately, but um, yeah, there's not a lot of money to be made. That's for sure. It's more just like stress and money managing to make sure everybody does get paid. Um, but yeah, I do take a lot of pride in it. And you know, like sometimes I'll see people like hate on the fest on a comment on Facebook or something like that, and I won't necessarily be like, "Oh, what's your problem?" Like, I'll kind of be like, "Oh, that sucks, man. Who would you like to see headline a fest?" Like, if you're gonna hate on it, what's like your idea? Because I'm sitting here scratching my head, going like, "Who are the best bands in Australia, and who do people want to see?" So tell me. Yeah, it's a hard question to answer, and like the bands that you ultimately want don't always say yes. So it's like I gotta do it and do it what's true to what we kind of believe would. I don't know. It's a hard one. You want to sell it to people, but you're like, this has to be cool, and I would want to buy a ticket to this.
Yes,
That's ultimately, you know.
that's
So I
right.
guess is that a form of pride? I take pride in
I
what
think
it's trying to do. Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, as for Necrosonic as well, I mean, I shout out to those guys as well. You know, you're both very, very different experiences. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's important. You're both putting in, you know, shout out to those guys for putting in the work there, and you putting the work over here. I think you're both doing something that other people aren't doing, and I think you've cracked the code. So
yeah. Kento's great. He always reaches out and makes sure we don't double book. It's it's mutual respect there. It's really good.
yeah, he's good egg.
Yeah.
I've known that dude for like 100 years. So I don't. You probably have too been around. Like I don't know. Do you remember the old Brannigan's days? Do you go back to? No?
No, but I've known who Kent was for a really long time, just because I knew he was putting on shows and stuff. And like when I was younger, and my first couple of bands were trying to get shows, like he'd be the guy to email, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and then so I think it wasn't until I started putting on some like bigger shows that he kind of like was like, I might have met him 3 or 4 times. He remembered me the third time, and then we were on.
He's good egg. Good egg.
Yeah,
Known him for a long time. But of course, you know, outside the festival, you keep yourself pretty busy with several bands. I don't know how the fuck you do it because I'm in one band. I do this thing, and then I got a full-time job and a family, and I just don't know how you do multiple bands plus the studio plus all that. You know how does that not melt your brain, dude? Especially creatively.
it does. It is getting harder schedule wise as everybody gets older and their lives get more complex and all the rest. But it's working at the moment because there's a lot of crossover. So, for example, the guys who play in Resentomb, Matt, other Matt, and Mitch, they also play in Crossface. So it's not uncommon that we'll have a double band practice. Sometimes we'll do Crossface and Descent in the same day just because Kingsley plays drums in both. Why make the poor guy drive 2 separate days and set his kit up twice, you know? Try and knock him out 1, 2. So yeah, that is challenging always. And it's not like a every week, same days. It's got to be worked in with everyone's schedule. So that happens quite a bit. Creatively, it has to be like sectioned off. Like I'm writing for Descent at the moment, and I don't think I could really focus on it properly until the other Crossface one was like totally finished. I would have liked to have been able to just write infinite riffs forever, but you kind of got to lock into a zone, and you know, it's not just when you're sitting there playing guitar. It's when you're in the car driving to work. You're thinking like, oh, maybe that riff should have a little something extra in there. It's just like it's constantly churning. So just have the CPU burning away in the background, working on stuff. Can only really handle one task at a time. For me, anyway.
How do you remember them though? Do you yell out to your phone to like if you're driving? I've
Yeah.
been trying to do this because I don't know. I don't know about you. I get all my best ideas. Well, I think that is my ideas when I'm driving or somewhere where I can't, you know, write it down. And I've been finding this. I'll yell out, "Hey!" I won't say it because she'll jump out of the phone and yell at me. But you know what I mean. And it just won't write it down. So I've got to try and keep saying the same line or the same vocal pattern in my head for like 40 minutes until I get to stop. Like, how do you do? Like, do you have a method when you're busy of trying to remember what you've cooking up?
That would be hard because for vocals, you need the actual words and the placement, as where I can sort of just, I guess, for like a beatbox,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
riffs and drums kind of thing into the phone and have a general idea. I'll usually find that I come back to the studio and I'll listen to that little idea that I whatever put into the phone, and it'll be super derivative of whatever I was listening to that morning. As soon as I had my coffee, I was instantly inspired by whatever I heard, and I went, yeah, let's steal a little bit of that and do it with this. And then but that will be a little point to tee off and be able to find something else that's adjacent but new, and not just steal directly what I thought was cool that morning, and kind of just use that as a point to leap off from. And then, yeah, hopefully you get two or three of those that all fit in the same family, and you can build a song structure and fill out the blanks.
But
That's
do you find that if you are working on one project, that is all you're thinking about at that time, and then sometimes those other ideas for the other projects sort of come in like Pac-Man, and then you're like, fuck off, like just, but you don't want to lose it. Like, how does that work for you?
yeah. I've got just folders of songs. Just I tend to come and sit down and write a song start to finish.
Mm.
So it's not so much little bits and pieces. It's like just archives of songs that didn't make it. And I can sometimes go back through that and find a gem and recycle it. But yeah, it's usually a whole cohesive idea. The drums are linked with the guitars. So you want to kind of flesh that out as best as you can from what you hear in your head. And then from that point, I've got it forever. It's not too hard to listen back and be like, okay, I remember that riff, and you can work it out. It's I'm just realizing now as I'm saying it, it's like that's not really possible for everyone, is it? It's kind of sick that we have the technology now. I can just come in and like 4 to 6 hours bang out a whole demo, just a skeleton, but a whole rough demo of the song. And then, yeah, that's the process. Then you do that and you wait till the next morning. 50% of the time, it sucks.
Who's it? I think
So, yeah, you
Dimebag.
just choose.
What's that, man? Sorry.
It's sort of that's to me, that's the test. If you get back into the same car that you listened to on the way home from the studio that night where it sounded great, same car, put it on, and it doesn't feel nearly as cool as it did when you actually made it, then yeah, it wasn't as cool as you thought it was.
Doesn't
But a
survive.
lot of times, oh, like it's a really good feeling when it still slaps on that revision listen. Yeah,
That's cool.
that's what.
I'd love to hear some of those ones that aren't quite cooked and see where they're probably
Like a
like,
good one,
yeah,
a good one or a dud.
oh man. Actually, I want to hear the dud because I'd be able to go, man, that's a fucking rad riff, and you're like, nah, because you're your own worst critic.
Hey, yeah, might make me go back and reconsider a part. Then yeah, that's not a bad thing.
There you go. Bring in someone who's, oh, that's fucking awesome.
I'll send you a song I'm working on, and you can be like, I might even say, how do I fix this? And you could
Oh,
hear something. Yeah, who
don't
knows?
ask, don't ask
I wish
me.
I could get more feedback out of people.
Okay,
Sometimes it's sort of like send them a song and they're like, "That's really cool."
man.
Like, okay, I want to make it more than that though.
They need to have that because look, there's some people you show them and then they go, "That's rad," and you're like, "You're lying to me." You know, even if it's you know, that maybe there needs to be a panel or somewhere where you can go where it's like, you know, hooded figures that tell
Yeah,
you honestly
yeah,
if the song's good or not. You know, so it's not, you know, it's like put it through the is this worthy? And they're like, oh, there.
yeah. I think if you're a good friend, you should be honest with your friends and just tell them like, nah, that fix that riff. Like, you're not really helping them by saying like, yeah, it's good, leave it. Like
Yeah,
that's
everything's
would
good.
always
I
be
know.
better, honestly.
See?
Yeah,
Yeah. Be a good mate and tell
yeah.
them,
Be
you
honest.
know, if it's good or not. You know, you know.
Honesty is the best policy, I reckon.
It is, but then sometimes it stings. You're like, oh, but I fucking love that fucking idea. You know, you're like,
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And then there's those
No,
ones that just hate it.
it still hurts. Yeah, I understand.
But yeah, man. So of course, what is cooking musically for you? You Descent
um,
you're working on at the moment. What's going on in the other bands like Resentomb and stuff? What's happening?
Resin Tomb's got a bunch of shows coming up. We playing with Iron Lung at Crowbar in Brisbane, and also like two of my favorite Australian bands, SHACKLS and Faceless Burial, are playing that. Um, so that's going to be sick. And then we have the festival in Sydney, Primitive Fest, and we might have one or two more other shows over the next couple months. But um, once that's done, we'll get stuck into recording another album. I think it's sort of like fermenting. It's pretty much finished. Just got to do vocals and all that sort of stuff and get in the studio. Once the drums are laid down, it's like smooth sailing. But and yeah, Crossface is just playing shows. Uh, Snorlax has a new album finished, probably come out towards the end of the year sometime. Um, there's no official announcement or anything yet, but I'm not gonna hide it. And like, there's been heaps of sick bands come through the studio the last few months, so keep an eye out for new Malignant Aura. That's gonna be really sick. Full length album. Um, there's a sort of younger band called Brawlers that I recorded recently. Brawlist, not Brawler. I just got to clarify there. And it's like sort of it's beat down, straight up. Just it's beat down. If you're into that, it's very sick. Um, and then yeah, new Entrapment, new Consequence, new Death Proof. They all came through the studio recently and just like ripped out awesome EPs. They're just I don't know, they're kind of riff machines, hey.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Um, there's heaps going on. Honestly, I can't really keep up with it all mentally. No, it's all there. I just I think if anything, keep an eye out for you, the new Hebephrenic.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be up your alley.
Where are they from?
So that's a band I've been playing bass with for a couple of years now. They're a Brizzy band, so it's like uh it's kind of mysterious. So I won't name everyone in the band, but it's all people you probably know and have played with before. You definitely know of all their other bands. I'll say members of Gravier, Impetuous Ritual, um, and then musically, I don't even know how to describe it. It's black and death metal, but it's got like a cinematic kind of quality to it,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, there's like little bits with string sections and stuff. So that was super fun to work on. Like mix wise, that was a buffet to jump into and a huge learning curve as well. But yeah, I would keep your eye out on that one, man. It'll be on Gutter Prince Cabal Records,
Oh,
I
cool.
believe. Yeah, so
Okay.
you'll see it pop up.
Man, send me a link. Link me. You know, all this stuff. You know, I haven't heard that stuff, so I'm keen. You know,
Oh yeah,
put it all through.
okay,
Yeah.
definitely.
But yeah, man, of course, apart from that, the studio, you know, what else does the rest of the year look like for you personally?
Um, hopefully recording new Resin Tomb and finishing renovations on my house. Yeah, I probably need to like pause on some music stuff to get it finished, but no, that's basically it. I'm just really hoping Cold Day goes well and everything works out in that world, and then once we're over that hump, I can put my brain back into engineer mode, I think, and get stuck into the blast beats.
Yeah, blast beats.
Yeah,
All
that's
about
what we're all here for, isn't it?
and beat darts. Yeah, it's all good
Yeah.
times, man. Well, man, thanks so much for hanging out again. It was cool to see you again.
Likewise, I feel like we did this super recently. I know it was before the last Cold Day, the last one that
Yeah,
last time we spoke, but yeah, it's
it's
flown.
all bam, bam, bam. I know, but I see you out and about, and it's always like real quick. You know what I mean? Like, oh, man, how you going, bro? Yeah, yeah. And that's off into the
It's
dark.
always too loud to have a good conversation.
Yeah, I know. You know, you got these
Yeah.
fucking bands, and you're just like, shh. Man, we're trying to have a conversation. Fuck. Who do you think you are? Imperial Triumphant. No. But
I was
man,
though,
sorry.
man. I was still buzzing from that Imperial Triumphant show. I nearly wore the shirt tonight, and I was like, no, I'm gonna represent Australia. Go, everyone, go check out Contaminated. But yeah,
Which
very
shirt did
sick.
you get?
The black and white one.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. Because
Yeah,
I almost wore mine tonight. And then would have been like,
yeah. The Spider-Man meme.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That always do you have that with your band as well?
Yes.
Where you'll go play a show and someone in the other band will be wearing the exact same fucking shirt. And then you're like, well, you just gotta fucking change and wear a hoodie. And they're like, no, fuck you. Like that never happened. That never happened to you? Oh, we're the
It's funny
same.
you say. Yeah, literally the same gig, the Imperial Triumphant show. Mark Bolton came up to like the singer of Shackles came up to me. He's like, "Bro, which one did you buy?" And we're like, "We got the same one." So like, I think he was wondering if we're both going to end up wearing it at the gig together next month. So it's like, I'll text him and be like, "Nah, shotgun."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm already wearing it. I've been wearing it
Yeah.
2 days earlier, so you can't fuck with it. Yeah, I would do that. Yeah. Anyway, but man, in the meantime, we can have all the links down here and on the website. Cold Day in Brisbane, number 3. Let's fucking go. Good times, man. Want to wish you all the best. And even though you're just down the road, we keep saying it. We'll just do this in person down the road one day. But brother, in the meantime, take care, and we'll see you soon.
Likewise, man. Thank you so much for having us. Really appreciate you putting some, giving some space to the festival on your channel. Really, really appreciate that.
Anytime, brother. Anytime.